Give us a cheer if you've seen me perform stand-up comedy live before. 99%. Give us a cheer if you've never seen me before. A scared 5% and a boo from over there. That's how we're starting. Boo, I've never met you before, man. Impress me. I will impress you, booing man. What's your name?
I was booing the people that haven't seen you before.
Okay, you were booing the people that hadn't seen me before. What a fucking cop-out. But thank you for having my back. That's really nice. I feel like I've got a bigger boy for a friend. Thanks very much. What's your name?
Sam.
Hey, Sam, you okay?
Yeah, good.
Cool. Me too. Thanks for asking, Sam. I'm actually filming the show, Sam. It's quite a big deal for me, Sam, so it would be nice if you asked me how I was, actually. Thank you, though. Are you a Cardiff person, Sam?
Not originally, no.
Okay, that sounds like the beginning of a story, Sam. Thank you for asking, Sam! Finally, some fucking manners on Sam. Great question, Sam. It's my hometown, but I wasn't born here. You regret the woo now, don't you? Are you all fucking turning on me straight away? I was born in Brighton, but I moved here when I was a little baby, so don't boo a baby. How dare you? Where's your hometown, Sam?
Southampton.
Southampton? You can get a lift home. Are you all from Southampton? Yeah. Okay. One lady very confidently saying, they are all from Southampton. She's done a little Suella Braverman over there. She's done a big old census over there, old Suella. Thanks for coming, babes. She's a hateful bitch, but you know. It's nice to know already what we're going to have to cut out of the show, isn't it? Sam, it's lovely to have you here. Who are you here with today?
My lovely wife.
Hello, lovely wife. What's your name? Carys. Hey, Carys, how are you? Cool.
How are you?
Very well, Carys. Well saved, buddy. I was about to say you deserve each other. But you don't! Are you... Well done, Sam, well done. Are you also a Southampton person, Carys?
No.
Whereabouts are you from? Penarth. Oh my goodness, fucking bougie. Yes, please. You live in Splot now? Yeah. I'm sorry. Can't have it all, buddy. Can't have it all. Do you like Cardiff? Do you like Splot?
Yes. Yeah, love it.
Okay.
What about you?
What about me? I'll be completely honest. If everyone asks me the same question I ask them throughout the show, it's gonna fuck it. This is the preamble, then let's get into just me. Nom, 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 nom. It's all about me. Yeah, I like living in Cardiff, man. This show is about living in Cardiff, Sam. Thank you for the setup. So, it's about moving back to my hometown. 2020, I moved back here. Moved to London for a little bit. I'm just going to say that again because it sounded like I had a fucking nightmare. Just for the edit. Snip, snip, bitch. Moved back to Cardiff, Sam. 2020. Lived in London for like 4 or 5 years, then moved back 2020. Best city in the world. Best decision I ever made, right? Moved back with my parents, right? They're lovely people, my parents. The first joke I ever wrote was about my parents. I'll tell you the joke. So before I did stand-up, never been in a relationship before, never had sex before. Said to my dad, I'm thinking of doing stand-up. And he said, well, Robin, a lot of stand-ups, they talk about having sex or their relationships. So what are you going to talk about? Ha ha ha, fuck off, Dad. I'll talk about mum's affair. So... that was the joke. That was the joke, and it's not even true, to my knowledge. But then about 6 years ago, I did stand-up on television for the first time. Fucking check me out. Pretty good. Thank you so much. I was on BBC One Wales. And yeah, it tails off towards the end, doesn't it? BBC One Wales and iPlayer for 30 days. And I said to my parents, like, biggest gig of my career, would you like to come and watch it? Get getting recorded, would you like to come along? Biggest gig of my career. And they said no. And I was like, okay, stuff that down, and talk about it 6 years later, right? But like, the thing is, my brother's a teacher. They haven't been to his work either, so I think it's fine. That's equal, isn't it? It's absolutely fine. But we all watched it. When it came out on the TV, we all watched it as a family. We gathered around the TV like it's one of those Boris speeches in March 2020. you remember those? Just gathered around, oh, what's this mad prick going to say now? Well, OK, wash our hands and sing Happy Birthday. Let's give it a go. We all gathered around the TV, and I realised my mum was going to hear this joke for the first time. She was going to hear Mum's affair. And I start getting really, tense and antsy about it. And it felt like, you know at Christmas when you're watching a film with your family and there's a sex scene in the film? You're just going, oh, just watching porn with Nan. Trying to make small talk. That was a nice-looking dick, isn't it, Nan? That's a lovely-looking dick, Robin. We're bonding. This genuinely happened to me a few years ago. Me and all my family were watching a film at Christmas. Everyone sort of peels off one by one. It's just me and my grandmother in the room. These two actors start undressing and having sex with each other, and I'm just there like... My brother walks into the room, sees what's happening, just goes... It's not what's happening at all. So I say the joke, Mum's affair. Mum's affair. I can feel my mum's head just turning to me. Her eyes burning into the back of my head. He goes, Mum's affair. And she goes, who told you about that? And I was like, oh, you're a sassy bitch, Sue. I see. Like it a lot. It's the same joke twice. You're very welcome. So I moved back to Cardiff just before the plague. Best decision I ever made. Did you call it the plague? Bit of fun. I still haven't had it yet. Sex. I still haven't had COVID yet. Has anyone else not had COVID yet? Oh my God, it's like a survivors meeting. One lady was whooping very much over there. What's your name? Elle, hello, Elle. Does the vaccine give you a little bit of a speech delay? What's going on? Hello, Elle. How are you, mate? You okay? Yeah. Quick. Elle was quicker. Elle was quicker. You haven't had it? Do you feel smug about that?
A little bit.
Yeah, I feel like a fucking god. It's great. Have you had your jabbies? No. Oh. Yeah, get a camera on her, I think. Yeah, let's shame this woman. Elle, it was lovely to have known you. Yeah. We're all being silly billies. I had my second jab, Elle. You've got to get them, they're the fucking best. I had my second jab in the pharmacy of a big Tesco's. Has anyone else had that jab in a supermarket? I've asked a lot of audiences, no one fucking has. What did they put in me? It was by the beans. I think it's Bonjela, but I'll never know. Haven't had an ulcer in days, though. My favourite thing about the pandemic was the temperature guns. Do you remember the ones? The head ones they brought out halfway through. I didn't know the head ones existed. I had my first haircut after lockdown, June, July 2020. So I walked into my barber's, someone just puts a fucking gun to my head. My reaction was to close my eyes and smile. End it! Just give me a sick fade afterwards, please. So yes, moved back with my parents. Moved my entire family back in with my parents as well. Moved my 2 children and my wife. Yes, I have a wife, and I'll be taking no further questions on that. Thank you very much. I shouldn't have to come out as straight at the start of gigs. I shouldn't have to. But I do, don't I? Otherwise, you'll spend the entire show just going, he doesn't know, does he? He has no idea. I feel like the people who've come back to see me, I feel like you come back year after year just to see if I finally come out yet. Not this tour, motherfuckers. See you next year. I have a wife. Thank you. She's great. She comes out at the end and sings a song. It's haunting. It's oops upside your head. She's great. We have a happy marriage, my wife. I like her a lot. She's good value. No, I love her as well, but I like her as well. I think that's quite nice. I read this magazine article recently of little things you can do in your marriage to keep it fresh, to keep it happy, right? One of these things was acts of kindness. So every day offer to make a cup of tea, accept an offer of a cup of tea. Another one was their enemies become your enemies. That's quite a nice one. So my wife, I have a wife. She'll come home. I do. It's weird, isn't it? She'll come home from work and you'll never guess what happened today. I'm like, is it fucking Denise again? She'd be like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God! Like, you didn't even know what happened. I didn't even need to know what happened, Jenny! You're my queen, you're always in the right. It's a happy marriage. It's really happy. It's great. She doesn't know this next thing about me, though, so don't tell her. I had thrush for 3 days over Christmas, right? So, grow up, we've all had it. And I live in an area of Cardiff that's very villagey. Everyone knows each other. And I went into the Boots there, right? The Boots on Merthyr Road. Shout out to Merthyr Road Boots. I'm trying to get sponsored by them. Yeah, loads of pharmacists over there. Went into the Boots to try and buy some Caniston cream, and they didn't have any Caniston cream. They only had the pessary version, and I can't use that because I have no vulva. Spoilers. What's he going to do at the end now? So I said to the pharmacist, I said to the lady behind the counter, do you have any Caniston cream out the back? And she goes, who's it for? And I said, me. And she goes, what's it for? And I said, thrush. And she goes, where's the thrush? And I said, on my penis. And she goes, no, we've not got any. I was like, what the fuck? Where was that 3 questions ago? Put a sign up. Give us a cheer if you live in the Whitchurch area of Cardiff. Sorry. There's a thrush pandemic in North Cardiff. We got broken into a couple of weeks ago. It's never happened to me before. Sam, you been broken into before?
Luckily not in Splot.
Okay, in Splot, really? Then you're the one doing it. Do you like that? Shh. I feel like we're flirting. I quite enjoy it. I have a wife. And... knock it off, mate. Same? Yeah, whatever. Got broken into a few weeks ago. It never happened to me before. It's very strange. These 2 kids jumped over the back of our fence, and we've got like a little garage at the bottom of our garden. During COVID, I turned into like a little writing shed, like Roald Dahl, where I write, but not offensive shit, and just twee things about elves. And these kids broke in, and they nicked me and my wife. I have a wife. They nicked me and my wife's bikes that we never use, and like rode off into the sunset like E.T. And we called the police, and they sent CSI round, and it was so fucking exciting. So the CSI lady came round, and she goes, do you think they touched anything? I was like, yeah, I think they touched that bag. And they were like, I'm going to take the bag to the lab for prints. I was like, yeah, take the bag to the lab for fucking prints. So amazing. She said maybe you should like sort of security-proof your home. So I went to B&Q and bought like floodlights and a little camera. And I was walking through this aisle, and there was an aisle full of like anti-burglar spikes. I was like, I'm not going to buy any spikes. I bought so many fucking spikes. So if they come over again, they're going to die. I was there, like, nailing them into the wall. I bought a nail gun, not to wait for them, just like, bam! Like, to nailing these spikes to the back wall. I was like, bang, 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 on this little step ladder. And my wife, I have a wife, she came up to me, and I said to her, Jen, do I look really manly? Am I protecting my family? And she goes, no, you look like Kevin from Home Alone. I was like, right, okay, sure. Paint cans, yes! Was he paint? Ah! Bit of fun. It was nice living with my parents. It was nice. My mum and my wife get on very well, which is nice. The one criticism I have for my mum is that she's very rude to Alexa. Just one of those smart devices in her kitchen for cooking and stuff, and she uses it for like timers. And the way she fucking speaks to her, she's like, Alexa, stop! Screams at him. My son, who was like 3 at the time, who's picking up on all this language. We had to say to him, no, we say please to Alexa. We say thank you to Alexa. Jeff Bezos is listening. We say thank you to Alexa. Because the way he was speaking to her, he was like, Alexa, play Wheels of the Bus, you fucking bitch! It was horrible. Horrible little boy. He's a sweetheart, really. We've got a boy and a girl, because I'm not sexist. They are both white, though. That's very annoying. I'm listening, I'm learning. I'm trying to do better. We try and raise them the same. I think it's quite hard to, man. Like, I think societally it is. I'll give you an example. So when my son was born, on the day he was born, I bought a scratch card. On the day he was born, I won £100. And I was like, that's cool. Put a little sort of savings account for him. And the day my daughter was born, I bought a scratch card and won £5. And I was like, well, that's the gender pay gap in action, isn't it? That's a clear example of it. So sorry. She's great. My son is he's just turned 6. He's a real sensitive little boy. We've basically raised like a little Ed Miller band. It's adorable. Comes out the womb like, oh yeah, it's great. And my daughter, she's 3. We really wanted to raise like a strong, independent woman, and I'm delighted to say that she's one of the most violent children I've ever met in my life. She's an absolute thug. She scares the shit out of me. Honestly, she's chaos. I think she's going to close down the mines. She has Liz Truss energy, do you know what I mean? The other day, she threw her breakfast on the floor in front of me, threw her bowl of porridge on the floor, looks at me in the eyes and goes, ooh la la. Yeah. Good for you. For Christmas, she got this little stethoscope set, puts it in her ears, puts the other bit to your heart and goes, bubba, bubba. Stops and goes, unwell. Don't like that at all. That is not very ooh la la. I think she's so angry because she's ginger, right? She's got a beautiful head of red hair, but I think that's it. Any redheads in? Give me a cheer. Loads of you. Electrous have a spokesperson, redheads. What's your name? Oh, you can put your hand up. Is it? Hello, you okay? What's going on? Don't say, oh no, just having a fucking conversation, mate. I've whooped and our man is speaking to me. This is what I signed up for. Hello, mate. What's your name?
Chloe.
Hello, Chloe. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you, Chloe. Just at work. Are you a redhead?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so? Okay, congratulations. Check. Congratulations. Did you have a temper growing up?
I still do.
You still do? I'll leave you the fuck alone, Chloe. Sometimes threats are quite clear, aren't they? It's called red mist, apparently. That's what people have called it to me, like redheads have a temper. I didn't realise it was a thing. The midwife handed my daughter over to me. She goes, she'll have a temper. I was like, okay. And I sort of forgot about it. And then the other day I was walking around a local supermarket with my daughter, and this little old lady comes up to us and she goes, I used to have red hair. I was like, okay. She goes, does your daughter have a temper? I was like, yeah. She goes, I have a temper. I was like, okay, bye, old lady. Fucking see you later, mate. It's nice being back in Cardiff, it honestly is, man. Like, I never really felt like... I lived here for, like, the majority of my my young and then pre-adult life, then moved away for a bit. I never felt Welsh enough living here the first time around. I hated that. Have this accent, hated that. My dad sounds like fucking Tom Jones. It's beautiful. Just want his accent, right? But I think, like, as a country, it's so, like, sort of broad and diverse. Of course we've got different accents. My son goes to a Welsh language school, got a beautiful Welsh language name, but he was born in East London, so he's got this little sort of Cockney twang to him. It's amazing. Instead of saying boys and girls, he says boys and girls. All right, girls. I'm going to sign him up to Love Island. He's going to be in the pool with his armbands on. All right, girls. Love it, man. Being back in Cardiff is great. All my best friends live here. All my male friends from school, they all live here. And we go out every single week. We go to the pub every Tuesday and we talk about the old times because we have nothing in common anymore. It's the best in the world, man. It's amazing. We're obsessed with everybody we went to school with. That's all we talk about. And this is a hometown show. And I'm pretty sure there are some of you pricks in. I'll be completely honest, I've been doing this tour for 4 months. In other places, I've been saying names. And on stage, I've been saying, by the time it gets to Cardiff, I'll make up some fake names. I have not done that. I have not thought about it. Strap it. Is anybody here from Cardiff High School? Oh, fucking hell. Right, so let's do some bleeps for the edit, guys. Let's try and get me not getting sued. So, we talk about people we went to school with, and, like, honestly, lovely school, great, but, sometimes you just sort of don't, especially people who you haven't sort of interacted on Facebook with for a little while, you're like, oh, I wonder what they could get up to. We bumped into one of them the other day. I'm chickening out! Right. Is he in? Thank fuck! It's like I'm calling him out for a fight. Where are you? You're like Delia Smith. Let's be with you! Lovely guy. Jock, very sort of popular guy in school. Wait, someone brought up the other day when we were in the pub, there was a rumour, this is legally I should say, maybe this didn't happen. There was a rumour that one Halloween he went out and accidentally egged his own parents. That's fucking mint. I bumped into, like, it's amazing how you sort of think about those kind of things and that's just lodged in your brain now. I bumped into him, like, maybe last year and I was like, you alright, still egging your own parents? He's like, what? I was like, nothing, no idea. No idea. It's amazing. What we should do is go to a high school reunion. That's what we should do. And there was one a few years ago. None of my friends were going, so I didn't really feel confident enough to go. So I kind of ignored it. And then I got a message from the girl organising the reunion, and she said, hello, Robin. We'd love you to perform stand-up comedy as our entertainment at our high school reunion. And I thought, perform comedy? To my bullies? For free? No fucking thank you. And didn't know what to do. I didn't want to come across as rude. So I asked my friend Michael. So I screenshot the message and says it's my friend Michael. Screenshot's good, isn't it? Would have been good if I hadn't fucking slayed the punchline, but there we go. That's one of the pickups we'll do later, don't worry. I screenshot the message and sent it to my friend Michael, and I was expecting some sort of advice. But Michael, as you're about to find out, is a piece of shit because he didn't respond to me. What he did is message the girl back directly saying, "Hello, I've been acting as Robin Morgan's agent for the past 5 years. He'd be delighted to do the gig. All he requires is his megabus fare paid for." Fucking megabus! "And a room to store his many, many props." What? Like I'm going to come out in a Mr. Blobby suit going, "Hello, class of 2007! This is my career now!" Just after COVID, we bumped into another guy we went to school with, just as the pubs reopened as well. And he was in our friendship group for a while, and he kind of peeled away during sixth form and stuff. Lovely guy. Lovely guy, right? And he said to me, "What for D? Is that you?" No. Came up to me, I just moved back to Cardiff, and he said, and I quote, just moved back to Cardiff, and he said, "Not to be gay, but I didn't know you lived in Cardiff." Let's unpick that for a moment. Because what I think he's trying to say is, it's nice to see you again. I've kind of missed the old times, but me, as a straight man, cannot sort of say those emotions. How fucking sad is that? Like, straight men, I say this as a straightish man. Like, I have a wife, and straight men are fucking baffling. I read this study, right? YouGov, the polling company, released a massive poll a few years ago of men, straight men, and their expectations of themselves. One of my favourite ones was 20% of men are, and I quote, "extremely confident they could land a plane." That's 1 in 5. Men, give me a cheer. There's more than 5. Give us a cheer if you are extremely confident you can land a plane. Fucking hell. Hello, lads. Pick yourself a spokesperson. What's your name? Rich. I mean, there's a lot of... That's a lot of fucking confident white men. Did I hear a Ross? Rich. Are you conjoined? What the fuck is going on? Rich? Okay. Hello, Rich. How are you? You okay? Very well, thank you, Rich. Yeah, you're extremely confident you can land a plane? Yeah. No further questions? No. Actually, Rich, further questions. Like a Boeing 747? No. Genuinely, like a big, like, proper turbo...
See, I could land it well.
Yeah, those Malaysia Airlines pilots are fucking nailing it, aren't they? Do you think you could land it and you would stay alive?
Probably not.
What do you do for a living?
Call centre.
They got phones in it. Rich?
Yeah.
I think I could land a plane. I think I could. Isn't that weird? What is it about men? You're gonna have the, especially me, straight white man. You're gonna have the easiest life of everybody. And I want to fucking land a plane with no fucking training. This same study, Rich, said 36% of men are extremely confident they could beat an eagle in a fight. Who is asking the questions? 80% of men are extremely confident they could beat a rat in a fight. Who are the other 20%? It's a physical fight, not like a cook-off in a Parisian restaurant. Do you know what I mean? That's the first of 2 Ratatouille jokes in the show. You're very welcome. There's another one coming up. This is my favourite one. 30% of men, straight men, don't recycle because they're worried that people will think they're gay. How fucking fragile is that? Especially when you think of like the global environmental movement as a whole, like who are the men at the top? Like Sir David Attenborough. Well, he's not gay. He's been smashing puss for years, hasn't he? Audiences don't tend to like that joke, but it's staying in. It's staying in for me. It brought a lot back, being back in Cardiff. Like moving, I feel like whenever you sort of go back into your parents' house, you sort of revert back into a teenage you a little bit. I used to think I was quite an intelligent child. From chatting to my parents, I don't think I was, right? I'll give you an example. Thank you for laughing at that. Ha, he's a thick piece of shit. I genuinely don't think I was. I'll give you an example. So if I was reading a book as a kid, if I didn't know what the meaning of a word was, I would just assign it a meaning, assume I was correct, and just move on with my life. Like I was Matilda Wormwood. I'll give you an example, right? So when I was like 13, I wanted to buy a little television for my room so I could watch whatever, so I could stop watching porn with Nan. And I said to my parents, can I have a little TV for my room? And they said, no, you need to buy it with your own money. I was like, that's a good lesson, amazing. So I saved up my money, bought a little TV for my room. The first day I was ever watching it was Friday night, and I was watching Channel 5, and it was about 10:30 at night. I was watching a Friday night Channel 5 film. Give us a shit if you know what that is. Some dirty people and the rest of you are liars. Okay, sure. Friday night in the sort of early 2000s, Channel 5 would just like pop on like not like a porno, but like something like a little bit saucy. There might be like one boob or something. And like pre-internet pornography, I was like, this is fucking amazing, right? So I was so afraid that someone would come into this bedroom that I was just lying down on bed just watching these things with my thumb over the off button on the remote control. If I heard like, any sort of creak on the floor, I'd be like, off! On. Off! Right? And I was watching this film and it was amazing. 2 boobs. And I went down the next day and looked at my parents' TV guide and I was like, this must have won an Oscar. What was this called, right? And it was described as an erotic thriller. Now, I didn't know what the word erotic meant. I'd not heard it before, but it was quite a scary film. So I thought, scary thriller? That makes sense. Erotic means scary. Scary thriller? That makes sense. Erotic means scary. Pop that into my head. Forget about it. 6 months later, my mum said, there's an inset day today. We're going to the cinema. What would you like to see? And I said, can I surprise you, Sue? I would like to see an erotic thriller with you. And she goes, what do you think that means? And I said, what does it mean? And she means it means sexy. I was like, yeah, that's what I want to see with you, Mum. She's a cool lady, my mum. She's absolutely amazing. Just before pandemic, she graduated with her for a PhD. She was doing it part-time for years. Very proud son. Went to her graduation. The whole PhD was in the language behind female sexual anatomy. I think it was called clits and shit. And I haven't read it. I'll read it one day. Clits and shit. And she was like amazing. I haven't read it. I will one day, I promise. But like, she was one of the first people in the world to find out that like the bits of the lady Fanny that were all named by men in the 15th and 16th century. And there's one bit of the giblets that's I haven't read it yet. And there's one bit called the pudenda, and the Latin root of that word comes from the word to be ashamed of, for shame. Can you fucking imagine some little 16th century Flemish incel just writing this by candlelight and going, yeah, and this bit's gonna be fucking shame! Shame! Right? There's no male equivalent for that. Every other man's bit is, yeah, fucking cowabunga. Have a, YOLO, man. It's great, right? Like, honestly, shameful. Can you imagine some little Belgian Andrew Tate just going to town on this thing? Yeah, shame! I found the language behind it fascinating, right? We were potty training my kids recently, and we were trying to think of like what to sort of call their bits to them and stuff. I used to call mine my winky. What did you call yours? Your piece? Your piece? Yeah. Like your sort of East Coast, West Coast. Chuck up my piece! I've done this show a lot. I haven't heard Peace before. Big fan. Appreciate it. What did you call yours? Willie? Classic. Willie? Willie? I mean, you're all going Willie now. Willie? Sheep? Oh, right. I thought it was a different person. I called mine my sheep, and I was like, you're not helping the Welsh stereotype here at all. If a sheep's on it, you've gone too far. I call mine my winky. Ladies, I feel like there's, like, for men, it's like Willie or Winky, occasionally Peace. In Edinburgh, there was a Todger, which I thought was classic. Ladies, I feel like there's no sort of one uniform one. In Edinburgh, there was a couple of fairies. There was a few front bottoms. Any advances on front bottoms? Foof is a classic. Thank you very much for being here. Any other foofs in? A lot of foofs in the room, mate. Well done. Any advances on foof? I'll be with down here in a second because I just think I just witnessed the maddest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Take your time. Mary Lou? Like it's a ship? Her maiden voyage, some champagne off it. Prince Andrew at the wheel. Fuck off, that's a good joke. Off the cuff, that is a fucking... Yes, the first applause break in the show. I agree, Cardiff. Mary Lou's a classic. And it's come from the Whitchurch table, which I'm absolutely loving. There was another weird one down here. Nunny? Nunny? Any other nunnies in? Oh my God, foofany. Any other Mary Lou's in? Fuck off! For my son, we were potty training him, we were like, you have a penis. And he like, right, I have a penis. When my daughter was being potty trained, we were like, you have a vagina. She fucking got so into it. She's like, I have a vagina! We're like, yeah, you do. She's like, Mummy has a vagina. We're like, yeah? She goes, Granny has a vagina. I'm like, all right, mate, that's... Have you heard about the affair as well? Me too, it's mad. I think all this stuff comes from sex education. I think it's like, in this country, it's been dreadful for so many years and it's made generations of us like get really sort of weird about this stuff. I think the language is important, but then we sort of grow up going, I'm going to call mine my Mary Lou. Like, I think we need to talk about it a little more. Sex education for me in Cardiff was year 7 science lesson. My science teacher wheeled in a big telly and just popped on an erotic thriller and he was like, fill your boots. Except it wasn't a science teacher that year. Because of cuts at the school, my science lessons were done by my PE teacher. So he was wearing a fucking tracksuit, wearing a whistle. And he would separate the boys and girls out. Like, generally, like, year 7, they didn't announce what was happening. They just sort of split everybody up. I'm like, where the fuck are they going? Are they going to Casa Amor? Is Marjara out there? That's mad. Am I right, ladies, that's when you learnt about periods? And why shouldn't boys learn about that? Shame! Shame! We learned about wet dreams in our class. In my mind, the same thing. We don't fucking know. Who's to tell me wrong? Not my science teacher. He was a lovely guy. I've got to say his name. Are you in? Cool. He was. This isn't important to the story, but I want you to know this. He was on the Special K diet that year. If you don't remember what that was, it was where you replaced 2 meals a day with bowls of Special K. And he would just walk around the halls, just eating Special K. The first time I ever heard the phrase fallopian tube, he was eating Special K. It's not all right. He wasn't my favourite teacher. My favourite teacher was a man called Mr. He was a very sweet man. He was a little beta cuck like me. He taught me English and... Is he in? I'm glad he's not... No, fuck off! He was a really sweet kid, right? He taught me... The kid, he was an adult man, Jesus Christ. He was a little cuck, he was a soy boy. And he taught me English and history, right? And in year 7, I was this little sort of shy little boy. And then by the end of year 7, I realised I could make people laugh. And I was like, oh, God, I hope this doesn't turn into a career. Oh, my God. And I made the class laugh in year 7 at the end of the year. And gave me a right dressing down in front of everyone. He went, I want the old Robin back. And I was like, he's dead, motherfucker. He ain't never coming back. I didn't say that, I just said sorry. Sorry, sir. I guess the goal of sex ed is to stop getting teenagers pregnant. That's essentially it, isn't it? You can boil it all down to the fact of just like, stop fucking each other. I remember being like 12 and 13 just going, who's fucking each other? Like, we learn, honestly, so much about fallopian tubes, but nothing about consent. It's fucking insane in this country. I've been chatting to loads of people around the world, right? Like, there was a lovely French couple at one of the gigs, and they said it's really question-led and student-led, and basically sort of, as a student, if you have a question about sex ed, you just write it down on a piece of paper, and you put it in like a petit box, and... It's a pity box, and the teacher reads out like, this person is having gay thoughts, it's fine, you do not live in Cardiff, it's fine. This person calls theirs the Mary Lou, what the fuck is this? The accent's gone. Did I ever have it? No. Insane, right? I think these stuff is like, I think it's really important that sort of more people talk about it. I think like, especially as a teenager, like sex is something that I think everyone is obsessed with, of course it is. And I think boys have this stigma of really trying to sort of lose your virginity super, super early. I lost my virginity at the age of 20, but you knew that from looking at me. And don't laugh, it hurts my feelings. I'm a bad boy, I'm a top shagger. Furious that's got the biggest laugh of the night so far. People used to think, like, me and my wife were, like, sort of like... So when we moved back to my parents' house, my mum gave me this little box of memories, things that, like, I kept from when I was a teenager, right? And one of these was, like, mix tapes, like, mix CDs that I'd made for girls that I fancied in school but never had the courage to hand over. So these things had, like, built up, like, and now that's what I call virginity. And my mum was like, get it the fuck out of my house! There's too much Goo Goo dolls on here. Loads of school photos, right, as well, from like from when I grew up. But my wife, I have a wife. My wife is in a lot of these school photos. Me and my wife, we met in school, which I think is quite sweet. It's quite nice. I know, she was the dinner lady, and she was the lollipop lady, and she was the exam invigilator. And do you remember those people, the exam invigilators? They were fucking weird, weren't they? Sort of floating around like dementors, just handing out free paper. Yes, you may go for a wee. I was doing a gig in Maidenhead, and an exam invigilator was in the audience, and she didn't like me. And I said to her, like, is it true that you play games? Because apparently during those long exams, they get really bored, and they play games with each other. One of them is called Ugly, where they go around and stand by the ugliest student in the hall. So if I get bored during tonight's show, maybe I'll do that. I think, like, losing your virginity, in hindsight, it doesn't fucking matter. Of course it doesn't, right? But, like, in high school, I had these lovely, sort of, like, sensitive male friends. When I went to uni, also Cardiff, I kind of was out of my comfort zone completely, in a very sort of laddie house share, right? I used to have this Spotify playlist full of sad music. You know how sometimes you like to listen to sad music? And it was just called Sad. And when I moved into this house share, they were all, like, big boys. And I changed the name of it to, like, Sex Mix. And one day, me and my friend Scott were playing FIFA in my room, and this song comes on. He goes, is this on your Sex Mix? I was like, yeah. He goes, Candle in the Wind is on your Sex Mix. I was like, yeah. My bad boy, top shagger. They were obsessed with me losing my virginity, a lot of these boys. They were obsessed with trying to get me to go out. They were like, you coming to the club tonight? I was like, yeah, I can get my steps up. Yeah, why not? But we'd always do drinking games before. Always, never have I ever. You know what that game is? If you say a sentence, never ever had sex in a car park. If you've had sex in a car park, you drink. Just seeing if anyone's drinking at this point, congratulations. Right? But they were all really sort of racy and sexual. So I would just stand there in a semicircle, just getting progressively more and more dehydrated. It's like, never have I ever had A stars at GCSE. Okay, now I can drink. Fucking, now we're all having fun. Used to go out, like, at one point, like, an end of second year, they sort of pushed me up into this girl and tried to, like, get me to get off with her and stuff. At one point, they requested from the DJ, Madonna, Like a Virgin, and when the song came on, they pointed at me, and I danced around going, ha, is this friendship or is this bullying? We'll never know. Welcome back. How's your week? Yeah? Out of 10? 11? That's a wank, I think, mate, but there we are. It's absolutely fine. You do you. You do you, mate. You have a nice time. You've paid your money. It's too much. Snip, snip. I think the comparison is my worry. I was hanging out with very sort of like alpha male men, and I think like comparison stuff just isn't fair. You know, like the one time I had a nice time in a club, we were in a Vodka Revolutions, right? Just this one time in a Vodka Revolutions in town in Cardiff, right? I think it's because I compared myself to these men too much. I read this lovely quote that comparison is the thief of joy. I love that, man. I think it's so apt. I think it's so much worse now with social media. Like, everyone's looking at each other's perfect lives. It's hard not to compare yourself to that, right? I've deleted both Facebook and Twitter off my phone because it was making me sad. And now what I do is I just go on it on my web browser. It's the same fucking thing. I'm so addicted. There's no segue into this next bit of material, just so you know. I have rats in my attic. So... sometimes I don't write a segue and it's fine. No one cares. So, moved out of my parents' house, moved into my new sort of marital home with my wife who's real, and on our first night at our marital bed, we heard a little pitter-patter on the ceiling. I was like, oh, maybe it's mice, right? And we called a guy around, and he goes, no, it's rats. I was like, right, okay. And, like, he was a really sweet guy. I didn't know what to expect. He came round in an unmarked white transit van. I was like, oh, fucking hell. Who have I booked here? Like, he was going to come out with a stick with nails on it. Like, fucking, where are they? Where? He was a sweetheart. He couldn't say what he's going to do to the rats. I found that adorable. He was like, we'll go up there and we leave pellets for the rats, and then the rats eat the pellets, and then... And I was like, you promote them to head chef in your Parisian restaurant? What do you do? Tell me. Second Ratatouille joke, you're welcome. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's nice being back in Cardiff. My main thing, when we moved back just before the plague, we lived in London for ages, moved back here, and like my favourite thing was how some things have changed, some things haven't. There's a chiropractor that I drive past pretty much every day on the way to my parents. It's lovely. It's called Neck and Back, and every time I drive past it, all I can think is, and pussy and crack. It's made me laugh for 20 years. If they ever open up a sister location, that's what they should call it. Did you get an appointment at Neck and Back? No, they fobbed me off to pussy and crack again. But it's not as good there. Mary Lou is the masseuse. I really want to get a massage, but I'm really worried that I'm going to get wanked off. Is that a normal thing to worry about? Sam, is that normal to worry about?
Yes.
It is a bit worried. You said it so loudly like you are being wanked off. Carys? I'm so worried, like, but you can't call the place up and say, do you wank people off? Because then it sounds like you want to get wanked off. And I don't want to get wanked off. If you take one thing away from this show, it's that. Walking down the steps, that man did not want to get wanked off. I'm trying to think of, like, how to describe myself. People think that... a lot of people think I'm a top shagger. That's what a lot of... A lot of people do. I'm trying to think of, like, how to sort of explain myself to people. I'm very good with mums. Very good with mums. I'm in the school mums WhatsApp group. And I said to my friend the other day this, I said, I'm like one of the only dads in the mums WhatsApp group. And they were like, do they know you're in the group? And I was like, yeah. I think they do. I think they do. My son goes to a Welsh language school. I'm learning, right? And like learning Gyda Zoom. And well done. And one of the first days I dropped my kid off there, one of the Welsh speaking mums said to me, do you speak any Welsh? I said, petit pois. And I'm glad you laughed, she didn't. And it wasn't... He's a sweet... I thought I'd be the fun parent, right? Parents, give me a cheer. Are you the fun parent, madam, or are you the strict parent? Strict one. I'm the strict one. I find it infuriating. I thought before I had kids, I'd be like, I'm the fun dad. I'm a comedian. I thought every day, I'd be like, what's for dinner today, Daddy? And I'd be like, fucking cocaine! We rarely do it. Birthday's a birthday, isn't it? School run tomorrow is going to be fun. My son's got this little... it's been nice being back here. Like, my parents read to him, my brother reads to him and stuff. It's really nice. My brother bought him this little book, this little atlas. My son has loads of information about the world in. One of these pages was about religion. He goes, Daddy, what's religion? I said, some people believe that God's created the universe and some people don't. And he goes, I think God created the universe. I was like, oh, you're wrong. Cute, isn't it, at that age? I was quite a young dad, 25 and 29 when we had our kids. I kind of wanted to be a young dad. My dad was quite an old dad. I remember, like, we used to play football down the park every single Saturday. And when I was sort of like 5 or 6, he's like, I can't play football with you anymore. My back is fucked. I was like, I will never have a fucked back! And then I had kids at 25 and 29, and now my back is fucked. And it's not having kids young, it's just having children. The other day, my body is in such a state of decline. The other day, I couldn't look left because I'd slept on a pillow different to the one I normally sleep on. The other day, I couldn't look around because I towel-dried my hair too furiously. It's all down here from here, baby. They're good kids though, man. My son is a bastard. That's my time. Thank you so much. All the best. Good night. He's a bastard. He was born out of wedlock. Even though me and my wife have a wife. Even though me and my wife are married now, he'll always be a bastard. Any bastards in? Yeah, I can fucking smell you. I know. I love it though. I lean into it. Like, good night, my little bastard. Mwah, love it. So my son is a bastard and my daughter was an accident. Very exciting, very spicy, right? Me and my wife, I have a wife. We were going to start trying on our honeymoon. Trying means fucking. We're going to start trying on our honeymoon. But then just before we got away, we got pregnant accidentally like 3 weeks before. So we're in Gatwick Airport about to fly out. And my wife said, I'm either going to come on or I'm going to be pregnant. And I was like, those are opposite things. I learned that in wet dream class. And she goes, we're into Boots and tried to buy pregnancy tests and tampons. And the lady behind the counter was like, you don't know what the fuck is going on, do you? Oh, no. Like, is it choose your own adventure honeymoon? Like, I don't know. Pregnant in Dubai? I don't know. Obviously not Dubai, I'm not a cunt. Only half the room applauding, very aware of it. Very aware of it. Oh, life. This little box of memories that I took from my parents' house, took to my new house, right? There was loads of stuff in there. There's a photo of me at Beavers, right? You know the Scouts one. Did you go to Beavers?
I went to Beavers.
Is Beavers the boys' one?
Yes, the girls one's Brownies.
Brownies. Is it Beavers, even though it's named after a fanny? That's mad. It should be called Chodes, shouldn't it? So I went to Chodes once. I only went once. I found it really weird. They checked my fingernails after to see if they were clean. Did they do that to you?
No.
Then what did I go to? Was yours in a church hall?
No.
Oh no! Was the Dalai Lama there? That won't be topical in 6 months when this goes out. He might watch from prison. I was in a church hall in Roath. I remember going there with like a really oversized costume, just like really sort of floppy. And they all checked my nails. They all ended it with the Lord's Prayer. Did you end yours with the Lord's Prayer?
No.
That's so fucking weird. I think some people did. Are you sure you went to fucking Beavers, mate? I didn't know the Lord's Prayer. I find it really baffling, like all these people just trying. Give us a shit if you think you know the Lord's Prayer. I reckon more of you. Let's just try it. Okay, so after 3. 1, 2, 3. Our Father, who art in heaven. Fuck off. Imagine if someone came in now. Oh, Brexit's happened, isn't it? Brexit's finally happened. We got it through. I didn't know what to do. I'm so desperate for people to like me, hi, that I try to sort of join in and sort of like improv it without knowing the words. So you do it again, all together, nice and quiet, and I'll show you what I did. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Our Father. Jesus. Sandals. Donkey? No fucking idea. Rumbled one time out. I should learn. How does it end, Sam? The Lord's Prayer? Amen, sure. It's like pressing send, isn't it? I had a vasectomy 18 months ago, and I want to talk about it now. Give us a share if you've had a vasectomy. Cool. You sound fucking thrilled. The show's called Snip, Snip, Bitch. That's what the show's called. It's about this one bit of material. I kind of regret calling that. I've been doing some radio interviews to publicise the show, going up and down the country, talking to places like BBC Radio Berkshire. And what they've been doing is they come on and say, so Robin, you're on tour with your latest show, Snip, Snip, and we can't say the third word because it's just too rude. And I feel like there's going to be some little biddies in Berkshire going, has he called the show Snip, Snip, Cunt? What a brazen PR strategy. Snip, snip, bitch. We only wanted 2 kids. Felt very sensible, only wanted 2 for us. That was perfect. And felt mad for my wife to go back on the pill afterwards. Felt sort of sensible for like a man to take some responsibility for once in a while. Waits for applause. And no, it's fine. The reason is I don't really like buying condoms. And because I always assume that what I buy with the condom, the cashier will assume that that's what I'm shoving up my arse. waits for applause. No. Only wanted to. Vasectomy seemed like the safest option, right? Men who have had a vasectomy, where are you? What's your name?
Marcus.
Hey, Marcus. You okay? You all right?
Yeah, very good.
Good. Oh. He's one of your lot, Sam. I'm well as well, Marcus. You got kids?
Yes.
How many you got?
3.
Yeah, about time. How old's your youngest?
12.
And how long ago did you get your vasectomy?
5 years ago.
Who the fuck are you? Did you bring your doctor out with you? I've got bits of it here, actually. We've been doing it like Jaegers. I'm guessing you're the partner?
I'm the girlfriend who's also got 3 kids.
You're the girlfriend who's also got 3 kids. So you were like, fucking snip, snip, bitch! Fair enough. So 6 kids between you. Yeah, fair enough, man. NHS?
Yeah.
Nice. Lads, if you think you're getting one done, you can get them done NHS. You can get them done in little, GP surgery?
Yes.
Nice. I didn't. I got mine done in the pharmacy of a big Tesco. Well remembered, because that was ages ago. Well done, you. Joking, obviously. Mine was with a Groupon, and it was a voucher, and mine was NHS as well. But mine was during COVID, so I had to call up my doctor. I was like, you have to do like a consultation to make sure you're keen for it. So I had to call up my doctor. I was like, hello, 1 vasectomy, please. And he goes, are you sure you want to do this? I was like, yeah. And he goes, is your wife now? And I said, yeah. And he goes, are you sure you've got a wife? I was like, yeah. Just a little one, but she still counts, right? And he goes, you won't know if it's worked for 5 months. In 5 months, you need to give a sample, and in that time, you need to do 30 plus ejaculations. And I was like, can I get that in writing, please? Hello, I'm here to pick up my prescription of wanks. Free on the NHS in Wales? What a fucking country. Yes, please. Mark Drakeford does it for me? Yes, please. Love that guy. So it says to me on this little consultation as well, just so you know, it's not going to change you as a man. It's not going to change you as a man. I was like, but I want it to. I want to be a top shagger. I was like, no, I know. Like, I felt that was really interesting. On the actual consultation, they have to say it's not going to change you. Like, I feel like we put such sort of emphasis on our masculinities with like virility and having kids and stuff. He's like, it's not going to change you as a man. I was like, I know. It's all right. Don't worry about it. He goes, afterwards, you need to wear 2 pairs of small pants. Afterwards, I was like, okay. Do you, like, he goes, to sort of hold everything in place. I was like, okay, do you provide these prescription pants? And he goes, no, you need to buy them. And I was like, the NHS is on its fucking knees. This is a disgrace. So morning of my operation, it was 10 a.m. At 9 a.m, I was queuing outside TK Maxx in the haze, waiting for the doors to open, like I was queuing out for the release of Glasgow tickets. Doors open, I was like, hello, where are the pants? I went straight upstairs, bought 2 pairs of extra small Y fronts, paid for them, immediately left. The staff must have been like, this guy's 100% shit himself. And he's planning to again. Operation, GP surgery. I didn't think it would be in a GP surgery. It's local anaesthetic as well, isn't it? Were you chatting to your doctor?
Yes.
How many doctors did you have?
There was 3 of them.
3? I had 1. You must have a fucking whopper, mate. Well done. We're gonna need some help in here, Sharon! Get the big scissors, yeah! Yeah, like we're opening a Morrison's, yeah. 3? It's a lot, mate. Say again.
Size 11 feet.
Size 11 feet? How big's his cock? Say again.
Are you gay?
Am I gay? No, I've got a wife. What a weird question. Just fucking dudes chatting about dick size, you know what I mean? I didn't think it would be local anaesthetic. I thought it would be like, honestly, you go in, it's like a GP surgery. I thought it would be ambulance picks you up, blue lights on, they race you down to the hospital, they pull you in on a stretcher, everyone sort of stands up and applauds. This man's having a vasectomy! All the nurses high-five you as you come in. Captain Tom flies through, gives you a thumb up, something like that. None of that happened. Furious. GP surgery. I was chatting to my doctor throughout all of it, right? And he was a very nice man. He was wearing a mask throughout all of it, off of COVID. And at the end, he took it down to say goodbye. And he had a moustache. And it felt like he'd lied to me. I was like, you should have told me about that. That's weird. You should be on a register. I was chatting to him, and I was trying to make him laugh because I'm desperate for people to like me. Hi. And I did make him laugh because I'm very charming. And at one point I did, and he was holding a scalpel over me like that, and his hand shook like that. I was like, oh, fuck this. So I just went silent, and he put on some music to mask the awkwardness, and he put on panpipe versions of pop songs. And one of them was In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. And I was just lying back on this bed, just going, there's a fucking drum solo in this. Like, if he gets really into it. He doesn't, it's fine. He sends me on my way with a little letter and a little pot. And he goes, in 5 months, I want that pot back and full of cum. He didn't say that. He's been struck off now. It's weird. I think he was a doctor. It was in a church hall. It was a Dalai Lama. That's what it was. So 5 months later, I have to fill the pot, right? And it says on the pot, like, you have to basically deliver it within an hour of doing it. You have to give it to the hospital. And now I couldn't do that on mine. It says not to drive. So my wife, I have a wife, said, I will drive you. And I was like, that's very kind. It was Christmas holidays. The kids are off school. She goes, do you want me to take the kids into the car? And I was like, yes, take the kids into the car. Daddy has to wank. A very proud day in the Morgan household. So I do it in the pot, and I write on the pot, like, time of death. And then it says on the sheet, if it's a cold day, it was December, if it's a cold day, you need to keep it warm by putting it underneath your coat. So I was sat in the car just like that. My wife there, the kids in the back, I'm like, you okay? Could have been a sibling. And we get to the hospital, and I'm sort of like just making sure I don't spill it or anything like that. Everyone's like, oh my God, is he like a wounded veteran? I'm like, no, it's cum, bam! Throw it on the floor, ooh la la! This has been really fun. I'll tell you one story, and then we'll go home. Go to the Boots on Merthyr Road. I love being back here. It's my hometown city. I love it here. It's incredible. There was one point in my life I didn't really enjoy living here that much. It was during that university period, right? I was a bit sad, I was a bit lonely, a bit angry at the world, and I kind of wanted to get away from here. I felt like this was the problem. I'd lived here for too long. There's a girl on my course called Louise, and she was going travelling that summer. And I was like, oh my God, she was going interrailing around Europe. Do you remember Europe? And she's like, do you want to come along? I was like, yeah, I'm going to lose my virginity in Europe. Ooh la la. Right, and we went interrailing. Like, we flew from Cardiff to Paris, went all the way around, right? And I didn't lose my virginity. I did kiss one American girl, though, top shagger. So, but that trip changed my life. It made me more confident, made me more happy in myself. I was chatting to people from different cultures, from different countries, and it sort of gave me a bit of, like, a lease on life, you know? We're on the plane back after a month. I was like, I didn't lose my virginity, but that's absolutely fine. Flying back from Paris to Cardiff with my friend Louise, nervous flyer, and we were just over the channel, the Chanel, and we're sort of... and we're sort of like shaking a little bit, a bit of turbulence. I'm like, it's fine, it's fine. And then Louise can start smelling smoke. And I was like, I can't smell smoke, it's absolutely fine. And then we start seeing smoke, like rising through the tube of the plane. And I'm like, oh, okay. And we heard over the tannoy, ladies and gentlemen, there is a small fire on board. I was like, well, at least it's small. And they go, we will now locate the fire. I was like, they haven't located the fire. And I was trying to calm her down, but they sent this steward down, this air steward for Flybe, just sending down. But he was checking for the fire, but he was looking and just like he was putting people's seats down. Like, can you put your seat down, please? No fire there. Can you lift your seats up? No fire there. At one point, he was checking the overhead bins, like someone had checked in fire. Like a caveman had gone, fire. To his credit, though, he felt one of them and it was warm. And he looked in it and he just went... and goes and sits back down. A little front of this plane seat, and he puts his seatbelt on. I was like, I'm going to die if I converge him. Right? And Louise is stressing out. I'm trying to sort of keep her calm, so I say, it's going to be fine, it's going to be fine, it's going to be fine. As I say it's going to be fine the third time, the air masks come down in front of us, and all I can think is, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Actually, what I thought was, it's amazing that moment. Like, those things came down, and all I could remember was years and years of plain safety advice, all that stuff. Because those things came down, in my head was, help yourself before helping others. I was like, I'm going to help myself so fucking bad. Cut yours off. Get out of here, Louise. Every man for himself. Get out of here. Tried to be like really like helpful to the plain stuff. Using the big bouncy slides. Yeah, get your high heels off, Louise. Get off. We start like careering down at this point. I was like, oh my fucking God, like a virgin. Like probably like properly going down, right? We do an emergency landing at Gatwick Airport. You know how usually you sort of land, you sort of taxi around for a bit. We landed, they just pulled the handbrake up. They're like, get the fuck off the plane. I was like, this is amazing. Big bouncy slide. They were like, no metal stairs. I was like, leave me here to burn. I don't give a shit. Gave a new lease of life that trip, but honestly did. Honestly, it sort of gave me so much confidence. It made me realise that life was properly about experiences and that kind of stuff. 2 weeks later, I go to a Vodka Revolutions and kiss my now wife. I have a wife. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the whistles. Thank you for the yay. This is great. I always wanted to film it here. Worked here for so many years. This club is so special. The staff are amazing, so thank you very much. Give a round of applause for all the staff here, please. Thank you. Any questions?
Are you married?
No comment. How am I? Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Just had a really nice show. I'm absolutely buzzing.
What size feet have you got?
But my cock's 6 inches. If that's the question. I'll be completely honest. I regret saying that. Earlier on, I told you that my parents haven't come and seen me do stand-up before. They've come. This is the first gig they're here at. Sorry, Kevin Sue. Get them on stage. They wouldn't like me for that. Bag of rats.
Bag of rats, do that one.
Bag of... What do you mean? What do you mean, bag of rats? The joke... I've got another...
Nothing to do with your parents.
Oh, okay. You want me to do another joke that... I've never been heckled with do another joke that I didn't have in this show. Like, do the Drifters. It's not fucking karaoke, pal. Come back another show and I'll do it then. And maybe I'll come out of that show as well. Anything else?
What's your favourite Pokemon?
What's your favourite Pokemon? A curveball question. Dunno, not a virgin. Top Shagger. No, Blastoise, obs. Another one at the back. No, he's dead. Is my wife a MILF? I'll be completely honest, she's over there with the mum friends. You've made the school run incredibly awkward for her tomorrow. And also, stay the fuck away from her. This has been amazing. Thank you so much for coming. Have a lovely evening. My name is Rod Morgan. All the best. Goodbye. Nasta.